Hello and welcome to GHTV. My name is Warren Schlody and I'm the producer of the show. We're just getting our third season underway and we have some new faces that will be running things on the show this semester. With that said, it's my pleasure to introduce Matt, who will be one of our main anchors. Matt?
Thanks, Warren. I'm Matt Chong. Here's a look at some of the top stories of this week. A closely watched court case in Saskatchewan has drawn to a close. Gerald Stanley, a farmer who was charged with second-degree murder, and that was because he allegedly shot an Indigenous man, Colton Bushi, in the head at point-blank range. The jury delivered its verdict this past Friday, and that verdict read not guilty. Indigenous people across the country are saying that the trial wasn't fair, and that's largely because the Crown and jury were all white. People across the country held rallies in support of the Bushi family, and they have called for justice for everyone involved. The family says that they plan to fight the ruling in whatever way they are able.
The union is looking to strike a deal with the University of Toronto before February 26th. The Canadian Union of Public Employees held a rally last week to raise awareness for the conditions that they want for the university's faculty. The rally was held outside of Simcoe Hall on the university campus. A CUPE chairperson said that the university runs under precarious labor, a rampant cost-cutting tool at post-secondary schools in Ontario. One of the issues that the union is currently pushing for is more benefits for part-time workers for contract negotiations. U of T says that the university is focused on reaching an agreement with the union, but has plans to continue working through a potential strike. The university also says they are working with the union to reach an agreement before the deadline.
Citizens of Mississauga were rocked this past weekend. A large explosion hit a plaza in the Huron, Ontario and Dundas Street area on Sunday morning. Windows were blown out of storefronts and a nearby apartment building was damaged, flattening half the plaza. Now, 3 people were taken to hospital, and the city of Mississauga confirmed that 50 people have been moved from their homes in the area. Police still don't know what caused the explosion.
Entertainment's going to be back next week. Now here's Ryan Suknandon with a look at sports.
Thank you, Matt. The 2018 Winter Olympic Games are underway in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Team Canada's flag bearers for the opening ceremonies were Scott Moir and Tessa Virtue, London, Ontario's star-studded ice dancers. Through the first 3 days of the competition, Canada currently sits 5th overall among all competing countries with 7 medals. Michael Kingsbury won Canada's first gold medal of the competition in freestyle skiing, while Moir and Virtue collected the second gold medal for Canada in figure skating. Canada's athletes have also collected 4 silver medals and 1 bronze. The NBA trade deadline was busy with tons of big-name trades. The Toronto Raptors were relatively quiet on deadline day. The Raptors' only move involved trading small forward Bruno Caboclo to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for shooting guard Malachi Richardson. All eyes were on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who completely restructured their team, sending Isaiah Thomas and Channing Frye to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson. The Cavs weren't done yet, as they followed up with more big-name trades that included Dwayne Wade getting sent back to Miami in exchange for a protected second-round pick, as well as Jay Crowder and Derrick Rose heading off to join the Utah Jazz in a 3-team trade that also included the Sacramento Kings. I'm Ryan Suknandon. Back to you, Matt.
Thanks, Ryan.
A Toronto constable was demoted as part of a judge's sentencing. A fellow police officer found cocaine in Constable Kirk Blake's wallet while on duty. Constable Blake pleaded guilty at his trial but was absent at the sentencing. Toronto police have agreed that Blake will spend next year as a second-class constable. He will have to complete random drug tests. If Blake fails to meet any of the conditions, he will be charged with insubordination and the potential of a dismissal. The hearing officer says that Blake's guilty plea and how he willingly accepted his sentence is promising for rehabilitation.
The missing Toronto firefighter has been found alive and good health in California. The firefighter reached out to police in Sacramento 6 days after he went missing February 7th. The firefighter could not explain to police how he got to California from New York with no passport. Police say that they are still reviewing details from the case and are not ruling out mental illness. The firefighter has been given medical attention and will return to Canada soon.
Be prepared for some new changes to the old Canadian national anthem. The House of Commons has passed a bill to make the national anthem gender neutral. Instead of "In all thy sons" command, the new lyrics will read "In all of us" command. The change comes after more than 18 months of debate took place, and it was made official a day before the 2018 Winter Olympics. The Canadian Heritage Minister says that the changes will be made at no extra cost.
Bell Canada has further relaxed its cell phone unlocking policies. Last summer, the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, or CRTC, ruled that phone carriers had to unlock phones tied to their networks for free. Now, previously, phones would only work on the network they came from, and if users wanted to put their phone on another network, it wouldn't work. At first, Bell would only provide this free service to people who were current customers. Now, that meant that if you bought a used phone and tried to unlock it, Bell wouldn't budge. After a lot of complaints, Bell adjusted its policies to match the other networks in Canada. Phone industry analysts say they're excited that Bell is finally acting in the spirit of the law. Now here's Sean Jackson's take on the news and other stuff.
Thanks, Matt. A cartoonish police sketch has resulted in the arrest of a 44-year-old Han Phuc Nguyen after stealing money from a farmer's market in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Like the artwork, the guy himself does look pretty sketchy. Now, unless the Lancaster Police Department is employing first graders to sketch their victims, something's not quite right. Well, turns out the sketch was drawn by a witness to the crime. And luckily enough, an investigator claimed that the sketch jogged his memory and reminded him of Nguyen. To me, the sketch only really reminds me of one of those caricature portraits that you get of yourself and then beg your mom to buy you at the carnival. Of course, I'm not one to judge since I still can't color in the lines to save my life, but hey, props to the artist for solving crimes. I'm not doing that. So who's ready for reading week? Because I sure know I am. It really gives us some time to reflect on all our past failures of the semester and possible future ones as well. Or you can be a responsible student and do those assignments you told yourself you were going to do weeks ago. Or maybe you'll be lazy like me and watch Netflix for a whole week straight. Or you'll see your friends from other schools and party it up until you're drunk enough to order $50 worth of McNuggets off of Uber Eats and fall asleep face first in the barbecue sauce. Or don't take my advice and study instead. I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just a first year. Anyways, we're hard-working students, and it's totally not like we've had 5 semesters off back in first semester doing nothing. Oh wait, we did. But whatever you do, have fun and be safe. Back to you, Warren.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau will meet with Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. Last week, Trudeau met with Bezos in San Francisco to make a case for Toronto as the next location for an Amazon head office. The meeting is part of a series of attempts by Canada to attract foreign investment. If Amazon office comes to Canada, it will add 50,000 jobs and $5 billion to Toronto. Trudeau also met with other tech leaders in Silicon Valley while in the U.S.
And finally, need a lift? The new ride-sharing app from General Motors is coming to Toronto. Maven is one of the many ride-sharing programs in the city besides Car2Go, and it offers low prices to share a wide variety of vehicles. The app has been successful across the U.S., especially among 18 to 34-year-olds. 40 Maven cars will be available to use across the city starting this week.
That's it for GHTV this week. I'm Warren Schlote.
And I'm Matthew Chong. Thanks for watching. See you next week.